Living on a planet like Mars has always been a dream of ours. But let's face it, Mars has a seriously unique climate, like seriously different from Earth. We're talking about a place where life as we know it just can't exist naturally. But what if we could create our own little haven on Mars with the perfect conditions for life? Is that even possible? And if it is, are there any cool projects working on making it happen? Well, guess what? Today's video is all about answering those burning questions in your mind. But first, let's delve a bit deeper into the fascinating world of Mars. So, Mars, our neighboring planet, is a real enigma. Its environment is pretty extreme, making it incredibly different from Earth. Mars' atmosphere is very thin, which lacks the oxygen we need to breathe and traps way less heat than Earth's atmosphere does. But that doesn't mean Mars is a total wasteland. In fact, it has some pretty interesting features, like those awe-inspiring Martian mountains, vast valleys, and polar ice caps made of, you guessed it, water ice. It's almost like a whole new world just waiting for us to explore and maybe even call home someday. To explore the Martian climate, NASA launched a rover. Yes, a NASA Perseverance rover exploring Mars, being controlled from Earth. It landed on Mars in February 2021 and has been exploring the Jezero crater ever since. Perseverance is equipped with a suite of scientific instruments that are designed to search for signs of ancient life on Mars. It has examined a variety of rocks and soils and has found evidence that Jezero crater was once home to a lake and river delta. This suggests that the crater would have been a habitable environment for microbial life billions of years ago. Perseverance has also found organic matter in Martian rocks. Organic matter is the building block of life, but it can also be produced by non-biological processes. Perseverance is still working to determine whether the organic matter it has found is biological in origin. So far, Perseverance has not found definitive evidence of life on Mars. However, it has found evidence that Mars was once habitable, and that organic matter is present in Martian rocks. These findings are very exciting, and they give us hope that we may one day find evidence of life on Mars. In addition to searching for life, Perseverance is also collecting rock samples that will be returned to Earth in a future mission. These samples will be studied by scientists in laboratories around the world, which could lead to new and exciting discoveries about Mars' past. Now, speaking of life on Mars, well, it's a bit of a head-scratcher. As far as we know, it's a barren place, inhospitable to the life we find here on Earth. The extreme cold, the lack of breathable air, and the high levels of radiation make it a tough place for living creatures. But hey, where there's a will, there's a way, right? Talking of going to Mars, we, humans, as the superior race of life have already started planning. Life on Earth has been around for 3.7 billion years. But we, humans, have been hanging around for just the past 200,000 years. In this vast time, it was just recently that humans started going to outer space, opening the doors to us being a multi-planetary species. Now, SpaceX, the space company founded by the eccentric billionaire Elon Musk, is already doing some promising work in this regard. It has become synonymous with pushing the limits of space travel. One of the driving motivations behind SpaceX is the idea that humans should be able to venture beyond Earth and potentially colonize other planets, with Mars being the primary target. To achieve this lofty goal, SpaceX has been working relentlessly on developing some of the most powerful rockets in history. One of their standout projects is the Raptor engine, which is currently in its third iteration, Raptor 3. The aim is to achieve the capability to transport an astounding 100 metric tons of cargo to the surface of Mars using the Raptor engine. Elon Musk has this huge dream of not just sending a few rockets to Mars, but a whole fleet of them. He wants to launch about 1,000 rockets, and each of these super heavy rockets will be carrying a Starship that can hold 10 to 100 times more cargo than any other existing rocket. Since the Raptor engine will be installed, and who knows what the final version of it will look like. Now, the 1,000 rockets with just a Raptor 3. I'm talking about a mind-blowing 1 million tons of equipment, supplies, and all the kind of stuff we would need to make Mars a comfy home for humans. It's like a mega interplanetary moving day. But here's the catch: even with the super duper Raptor engine on board, the trip to Mars is still a bit of a marathon. Unlike the conventional 8-month trip to Mars, Musk's ships will do it in just 45 days. But even that is a bit too much. That's where NASA, with all its fancy tech, steps in to help out. They are on a mission to cut down that travel time and make this whole Mars adventure a lot more doable. While SpaceX's Raptor engine boasts an impressive efficiency rate of 99.9%, the Starship's speed remains a concern. To overcome this hurdle and drastically reduce travel time, NASA is exploring the use of nuclear power in space propulsion. The concept involves a nuclear thermal rocket engine, which could provide a significant boost in power. This engine relies on a small fusion reactor that splits the atoms of uranium as fuel, releasing energy in the form of heat. This heat energy is then used to pump liquefied nitrogen directly into the reaction chamber, causing the liquid to violently expand from the back through a nozzle, thus creating a highly efficient rocket. Surprisingly, this isn't a new idea. NASA had previously worked on a project called Project Nerva in the 1960s, which aimed to develop a nuclear thermal rocket engine. However, the project was eventually shelved due to various challenges and constraints. In recent years, NASA has revived its interest in nuclear propulsion. With advancements in technology and a renewed commitment to space exploration, NASA is now aiming to launch a nuclear-powered rocket within the next 5 years. While the challenges are immense, the potential for a nuclear-powered rocket to revolutionize space travel is equally significant. NASA might be able to construct the nuclear engine, but for the actual rocket, 5 years is less time. And that's where SpaceX will do its job. Another groundbreaking project NASA is working on is the Kilopower program. Kilopower involves the development of small modular nuclear reactors designed to operate in space. These reactors have the potential to provide high-energy solutions for long-duration missions, such as those required for Mars exploration and colonization. The Kilopower project aims to deploy its first unit on the Moon by the end of the decade. This deployment will mark a significant milestone in harnessing nuclear power for space missions. Moreover, NASA's expertise in logistics and project management positions them well to lead the way in developing this game-changing technology. When we peek into the future of space travel, it is pretty clear that both SpaceX and NASA are like the dynamic duo of this cosmic adventure. SpaceX is all good in hauling a whopping 1,000,000 tons of stuff to Mars and setting up a comfy human colony there. It's seriously impressive, but it lacks on speed. You know what's the cool part? They're teaming up with NASA, and that's where the magic happens. Now, we all know Elon Musk for his wild ambitions, from Tesla to SpaceX. But if you put him in charge of a social media company, well, let's just say it might not go as smoothly. That just shows his poor project management and logistics. NASA's experts will be able to handle the Mars project more smoothly. Overall, a collaboration between SpaceX and NASA shows us just how crucial teamwork is when we're talking about reaching for the stars. Before any human steps foot on Mars, there's a lot of preparations to be done. NASA, in collaboration with other organizations, is already taking steps in that direction. One notable initiative is the Mars Mission Simulator, where volunteers are subjected to a year-long experiment to simulate the conditions and challenges of living on Mars. This real-world testing is invaluable for understanding how humans can adapt to the harsh Martian environment and the psychological aspects of long-duration space travel. That's all on the incredible journey to Mars. Thanks for watching this video to the end. If you have any thoughts over the topic, would love to hear from you in the comments below.